Now, I didn't mention this before, but it's true on all these dividing problems that the way you can check is if you multiply everything back through, you undo the division through multiplication, the inverse operation, you should get back your original, right? And that's one way to check to see whether or not you got the correct answer. And you can even do it in this case with the remainder and everything if you wanted to. So you could take this entire answer at the top, right? And if you multiply that by this divisor right here, you should get back your original problem, if you did it correctly, right? So again, you do the inverse operation to get back to the original. Okay, so let's see if we want to do the next one. Okay, now again, we could try first, I don't think this would work, but I could be wrong. First thing we could do on this problem is 6y squared minus 2y plus 9 over 2y plus 2 is we could try to factor it. I don't know if it's going to work out. My guess is it's not going to work. Let's see. So 6 times 9 is 54. So we're looking for two numbers that you can multiply together to give you a positive 54. That, if you added together, would give you a negative 2. So both of them would be negative, right? Because it'd be matching, right? Because it's positive 54, and the middle term is a negative, which means matching negative, or both would be negative. So this isn't going to work, right? So that's not going to work. We can't do that. Good try that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to do long division on this. All right, so long division. So we are going to do 6y squared minus 2y plus 9, and we are going to divide that by 2y plus 2. Now, I wrote out all the side work, right? The dividing, the multiplying. I even wrote out the subtraction. You normally don't write all that out. Normally you do these mentally, okay? So if you think it looks really ugly writing all this stuff down, you're not going to do that forever. You're just going to write it maybe initially, if at all, you're going to write it down. And that's just going to be so you can learn the steps. Once you learn the steps, you're not going to write all the side work every time. That would be very tedious, to put it mildly. All right, so I will write it down again. Okay, so first step again is division. So we divide first, and we divide the first time, the first term of your dividend over here by your divisor. Okay, so what we do is we say 6y squared divided by 2y. Okay, so 6 divided by 2 is 3, and y squared divided by y is just y. Put the result of the division, the quotient, on top, and then we move on to the next step. Next step is multiplication. So we multiply. Next step. So we take that 3y right there, and we multiply it by the entire divisor of 2y plus 2. So we say 3y times 2y is equal to 6y squared. We say 3y times 2 is equal to 6y, right? So 3 times 2 is 6, y times y is y squared, 3 times 2 is 6, and just keep the y, 6y. And we put the result of multiplication on the bottom. The quotient goes on the top, the product goes on the bottom. All right. So, and there we go. And now we're going to move on to the next step. The third step is subtraction. So we do a third step, and it is subtraction. So we're going to subtract this entire product right there. Okay. And now we are going to start canceling some stuff out. So we say 6y squared minus 6y squared. Those cancel out. Nice. And then we say negative 2y minus positive 6y. So negative 2 minus 6y. Right? So negative 2 minus 6 is negative 8. Just keep the y. And bring down the 9. Okay, excellent. All right, so we're not done. We didn't get a 0 down there. That's what would happen if it had gone in evenly. That's not what we got. Okay. So now we're going to redo the algorithm again. So we're going to start with division. So now I'm going to take this right there, that negative 8y at the bottom, and I'm going to divide it by the first term of your divisor, the 2y. So we're going to say negative 8y, divided by 2y. So negative 8 divided by 2 is a negative 4, and y's cancel out. You write the result of the division, the quotient up here on the top. Okay, and now we're done with that step. We move on to multiplication again. So we say multiplication, multiplication.
All right, so we're going to multiply now. Okay, so we're going to take the negative 4 right there, and we are going to multiply it by this entire parenthesis, the entire divisor of 2y plus 2. So then we say negative 4 times 2. That would give me negative 8y. We say negative 4 times positive 2, which gives me negative 8. Okay, then I put the result of multiplication, the product, on the bottom right here. So you put negative 8y minus 8. And then we have our third and final step, which is subtraction. Okay, and we subtract this. You can distribute that negative if you think that makes it clearer for you. That's fine. Then we say negative 8y minus negative 8y, which is, since you're subtracting a negative, is the same as adding, so it's negative 8y plus 8y. So those simply cancel out. Then we say 8. Then we say 9 minus negative 8, which is the same as 9 plus 8, which should give you a 17. Since you cannot evenly divide 17 by the 2y, right? That's not going to go in there. The y will stay on the bottom, okay? We know we're done. That's going to be the remainder, basically, or at least the numerator of your remainder. So we're going to add 17 over the denominator of, or the divisor of, 2y plus 2. Okay. If you get a longer problem like this, you're going to do the same steps, but you're just going to do them for longer, right? So let's see what we get here. We get 14y cubed minus 52x squared minus 37x minus 6. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take 14y cubed and we are going to divide it by 7. I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep flipping between x's and y's. That's actually supposed to be an x there. There we go. Fixed it. All right, so we divide it by 7x, and 14 divided by 7 is 2. X cubed divided by x is x squared. We put the x squared on the top. Then we're going to multiply. I'm actually going to stop writing the side work and just kind of show you how this goes, right? Let's see how that goes. So now I'm just going to visually look at the top, right above the divisor line of 2x squared multiplied by 7x. So 2x squared multiplied by 7x, that would give me 14x cubed. 2x squared multiplied by 2 would give me, let's see, it's going to give me a positive 4x squared. And then we would subtract this entire thing right here. Whoops. The 4y cubed minus 4y cubed cancel out. The negative 52x minus positive 4x. Negative 52 minus 4 is going to be negative 56. And we are going to keep the x squared. Then we just bring down everything. You can be selective if you know what you're doing, but I'm just going to bring down everything. And then at this point, I'm saying negative 56x squared divided by 7x. All right, so again, so now negative 56x, sorry, divided by 7x. So we would say 7 would go into 57 8 times, right? Negative 56 divided by 7 is negative 8, and x squared divided by x is just x. So we end up with a negative 8x, then we end up multiplying, right? So I'm not going to keep the side work on this. We'll just get rid of that. We don't need that side work. Okay. And now we're going to multiply mentally. Negative 8x multiplied by positive 7x is negative 56x squared. And then negative 8x multiplied by positive 2 is a negative 16x. And we are going to subtract that entire thing. So negative 56x squared minus negative 56x squared is the same as negative 56x squared plus 56x squared. So they are going to cancel. And then we'll say negative 37x minus negative 16x, which is the same as negative 37x plus 16x. That is going to give you a negative 21x, and we bring down the negative 6. And then we are going to divide. So we're going to say negative 21x divided by positive 7x would give me a negative 3. Put the negative 3 on top. Then we multiply, right? And we'll just keep that up there for a little bit. So I'm going to, and again, I'm going to say negative 3 times positive 7x plus 2. So negative 3 times 7x is going to be negative 21x. And negative 3 times positive 2 is negative 6. We are going to subtract that. And since they match, right, negative 21x minus negative 21x, those are going to cancel out. Negative 6 minus negative 6 is going to cancel out. And that leaves me a 0. At this point, this is the answer. We got a 0, so there is no remainder in this case. And that's it.